So welcome back. We are here again for the third day of Wellbeing Week, and we are here to share 5 ways across 5 days that you can embrace a little bit of well-being into your everyday. I'm Lindsay. I am the founder of the Anti-Hustle Club and an accredited life coach, and I'm here to help you step away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and create a life that you love, aligned with what it is that you want to do, and help you get to where you want to be. Okay, let's get in with number 3. So the thing that I want to cover today is boundaries. And the reason I want to talk about boundaries, and you might think, hey, whoa, Nelly, like, what's this got to do with well-being? Well, it's got quite a lot to do with well-being, because if we're not setting boundaries, then we are not looking after ourselves, and we're just letting everybody run into our garden. So that's the idea. That's the way that I like to think about boundaries, is that essentially you have got a white picket fence all around your space. And if you don't have any boundaries up, you are just going to let people tread all over the grass, all over your flowers, all over everything that you've made, like just for you. You're just going to let people trample all over it. So really setting those boundaries is thinking about how you can make sure that you've got those fences up around you to protect yourself and to protect your energy. Now, this isn't the same way of like people like putting up barriers to like not let people in. That's not the case at all. This white picket fence still has gates to let people enter in and out. It's still possible, but it just means that you are then protecting yourself and protecting your energy, as though you were like, you had a house with a garden and you had a fence around it, so people just couldn't like walk on through and mosey on into your space. Thanks, girls. That's great. Amazing. If you are just joining us for the first time, I am recording this in a WeWork, in probably the worst place WeWork office desk space. Now, don't get me wrong, it's an amazing office because I'm literally opposite Tower Bridge and the Tower of London. I can literally see the Tower of London outside of my work area, but I'm right next to the kitchen, and I'm also right next to a runway of people that are going through. So it's not the best plan, but it's a plan that we're going with, and we're going to make it work, because I've determined to get these 5 tips out across Wellbeing Week for you. And this is the only time that I've got to record it. So we are just going to go with it and take some messy action. So back to it, boundaries. Boundaries can come in lots of different forms. And I think people get really scared when we start to talk about boundaries, because they think, oh my God, like I'm going to have to start saying no to people. And I don't like saying no because I don't like to upset people. And you know, hands up, who is a recovering people pleaser at heart? Yep, that is me. I am a recovering people pleaser. And it's just really tapping into that fact that we're taught in society to say yes to people and to people please and to look after others before we look after ourselves. Like, a lot of people have been brought up with those beliefs, which is why we find it so hard today, in like as you're an adult, to set those boundaries. But setting boundaries is really going to help your well-being, because it's going to be able to give you the space and time that you need to do the things that you want to do. So setting those boundaries, it might look like for you not taking your laptop home on the weekend, just in case something is going to come up. A boundary might look like you are not going to look at work emails until you have done your morning routine and you've been out for the walk, or been out to the gym, or got yourself a coffee, or just sat in peace and quiet for 5 minutes. Like, you get that time to yourself. Another thing, so setting boundaries with others is really important, but also setting boundaries with ourselves. And that just made me think of an analogy that I've heard quite a lot before, is like the first thing that we do usually when we wake up in the morning is pick up our phone and have a look at it, go onto social media, go into the news, blah, blah, blah. Imagine turning on, like waking up and then just inviting like 200 people into your bedroom. Like, you would just not do it. So when you are kind of opening up your phone and looking at social media straight away, it's like you're inviting 200 people into your bedroom before you've even had a chance to kind of figure out the day, understand what the day looks like, take some time for yourself. Like, you've not planned for that. It's literally like you are bombarded with messages and ideas, and your brain starts running off, and then you lose that time to be able to have for yourself. So it's not just about setting boundaries with other people, but it's about setting boundaries with yourself as well. And what do those boundaries look like, and how can they help your well-being? It might be that you set boundaries around your morning routine or your sleep routine. Like, do you fall asleep? I'm saying this now and I literally do this. Like, I fall asleep with something on like the iPad, But really that's not good for me. Like, that's not helping my well-being, because I'm not going to sleep at the right time. I'm not getting enough sleep. The sleep that I'm getting is probably poor quality. So what can I do to change that? I don't have my phone in my bedroom anymore. That's something that I don't do. But maybe thinking about what else I can do to make sure that my well-being is looked after, and putting that boundary in place to be able to make sure that I can achieve that. So again, going back to thinking about what we were talking about in the first episode, around taking baby steps. This isn't suddenly something that you're now like, well, Lindsay's telling me to go set boundaries, so I'm going to be the most boundaried person ever. And, you know, everything is going to happen perfectly. It's not going to happen perfectly. It's about finding the smallest thing that you can do that's going to have the biggest impact. So what boundary could really help you in your week? Is it that you need to put boundaries around work? Do you need to put boundaries around time with the kids? Or like, can your partner help in some way to kind of work with you to help you achieve this? Like, who can help you set this boundary? Like, you don't have to do it alone. So it's really thinking about what that boundary looks like for you, and then trying to implement it, and not getting upset and frustrated when it doesn't work out, because it's not always going to work out. But the fact that you're trying is massive, and that's what you need to focus on. So yeah, boundaries is the third tip of the week for Wellbeing Week. I'm going to love you and leave you there. And I will see you tomorrow for day 4 of the Wellbeing Week updates. I'll speak to you very soon.